So I want to talk to you all this evening about replacing drums on a dime. Actually cheaper than a dime, and doing so in Reaper is super simple. I'm sure that in other DAWs they have something similar as far as plugins, but in Reaper it's super simple and it's kind of fun actually. So this project I got in a few weeks ago, it had been sitting in a hard drive for the last 10 years, and it was done by a Grammy-winning producer 10 years ago in Nashville. It was done on a pretty tight budget, and so they didn't have a real drummer come in. They just used drum software. And we just didn't really like the sound of the snare drum. It was very hollow with a lot of ring, and I'll show you how that sounds here in a second. And then we're going to replace it. And in the context of the song, it's just so much better. By itself, of course, you never listen to anything hardly by itself. You always want to listen to something in the context of the mix. I mean, that's not 100% of the time, but it's a good little guideline to kind of follow, I guess you could say. So let's jump right into it. So the original sounded like this. So yeah, so that wasn't going to do for what we wanted. So Reaper has JS Audio to Midi Drum Trigger, and if you can just bring that up, and then you can figure out the threshold to where it starts grabbing the original audio, and this plugin converts it to MIDI, which is pretty neat. And then usually you could just use the default settings and it'll work, but sometimes you have to kind of mix things in or whatever. You can also mix in some of the original signal, which I have that at 6.6%, whatever. And now here's the part that you need to know. So if you notice here where it says Midi Note, I have this one at 40 and this one at 38. And here's the reason. So if you use Slate Drums, they have a free version out there where you can, I think they've got like 3 or 4 different free kits you can use. So I went ahead and bought the full version a few months ago, but for this one we're going to use one of the free ones that would be included in a free download of it. And so this one's called Free, Dry, and Tight. And so it's just not as hollow sounding and not near as much ring. And so what you want to do is you want to map the audio to Midi Drum Trigger to the right sample, and so you go to Map and you look for snare drum. In this case it's 38 snare center, and then I added a snare rim shot in with it, so it's stacked in with the original center hit on a snare. And so let me show you what it is like before and after. So this is before again. That's pretty rough. And I mean, I suppose some people would like it. And here is with the JS Audio. Context. And that's it. Super simple. Nothing to it. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. See y'all next time.